Welcome to the Lone Machinists, where it's just you, your tools, and the work. Curt, what you got going on this week?
This week, I'm going to talk about how Master Jamie makes me design better, some local AI updates, and running Linux on Windows. How about you? What are you going to
Nice.
talk about?
Yeah, I got a one-day retrofit that we did. Um, we've got coolant causing finger aids and fancy multi-body workflow and toolpath. So yeah, let's jump into it. How are you doing this
Ooh,
morning, Curt?
I'm doing
Well, sorry, this
fantastic
evening.
on this. Yeah, even yeah, it's a flip
Yesterday.
flop now. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's morning for you and evening for me. We're recording backwards.
Yeah, you're also
But
in the past.
you're in
Yeah,
the future.
I'm in the tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's going good. No, just nice to I
Same,
don't know,
same
nice to
shit,
be
different
here.
day.
Same shit, different day. Yeah, weekend, so nothing crazy going on today. Spent the
Yeah,
week out at
fair
my
enough.
folks, or the day out at my folks. So yeah, no, just
Oh,
how about you?
nice.
What's up in your what's up for your
Yeah,
today?
it's a Sunday, so I get to work. Carl's coming past to machine some parts and work. Well, wanted to work on his lathe, but there's severe weather warnings for the whole of South Africa currently. There's a tropical storm that's low pressure that's now sitting over Joburg, so they're expecting 100 millimeters of rain in the next 24 hours.
Oh,
Like
that's
it's
enough. Yeah.
torrential. Like so, it's been drizzling. It's now raining properly. I'm looking out the window, but it's been drizzling all night, and yeah, it's going to bucket down today. So I don't think we're going to get to work on the lathe, but yeah, he's got some parts he needs me to machine for him, so he'll come through. I'll make him load them. But
Nice.
yeah, that kind of leads into
How's
my first topic: the one
yeah? I
day
was gonna say
retrofit.
how's that going?
Dude, I hate Carl. We've run into one problem so far. So on Friday he came through, and we started to put the controller in and start pulling wire and figuring shit out. Yeah, the machine
Mhm.
moves, spindle runs. The only thing that doesn't
Really?
work is the encoder, and that's because I
Oh,
need to pull it.
nice.
It's a differential signaling. I need to just pull it ground, and then it'll work.
Oh wow. Okay, well
Yeah,
that makes
one
it
day.
super easy.
Literally figured out the signal. The yeah, notebook LM is full of magic. Threw the manuals at it, and then just hey,
Yeah.
pin out for this, pin out for that. The only problem is there is no manual for the servo drives. So the manuals I can find. Sorry, just breaking my shirt here. The manuals I could find for the K and D drives is for the SD100, SD200s. There's no manuals for the SD300s, and obviously he has the SD300s. So in the controller manual, I ended up asking it what the pinouts were, and then
Mhm.
just color coding wires and figuring shit out till it worked. Feeding
Mhm.
5 volt signals. I'm like, a 5 volt signal doesn't work. Well, guess what? Then we'll go to 24 volt, but it works on 5 volts. Because also the on the back of the control unit, a little sticker saying PC5V VD24V. So you're signaling for pulse and direction of 5 volts, and
Mhm.
your enabler and whatnot are 24 volts. So got that all hooked up. That's all now working. The machine is super quiet, super smooth. I got it doing 11.9999 meters per minute. Can't go as fast as the good way. Um, made it one millimeter slower per minute. But yeah, super smooth, super like quiet. It moves so nicely. And then we turned the spindle on. And
Oh,
it doesn't have a
oh,
separate spindle encoder. It's got a servo for the spindle and a timing belt. So it's loud as
okay.
fuck at 2000 RPM because timing belt.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
it's running. Yeah, got that dialed, got the relays hooked up. Everything was reasonably well labeled, so just fished around, found the wires. Okay, Carl, I'm pulling this wire. Pull it back at the front. So pulling the wire, I guess I can figure out which wire it is. But he's colorblind, so I've got to go to the back, look at what color the wires are, come to the front, strip the wires, see what colors they are. Then I'm like, hey, Carl. Oh no, wait, they're all grey. Go back to the back, check the color because we've got
Oh,
in one of the wires there's blue, turquoise, and baby blue. So I'm like,
okay.
okay,
So
I
he's
know it's a
hopes.
blue
Yeah.
wire, but which flavor of blue? But yeah, basically all of his functionality is done. Coolant pumps running, oilers running. I haven't really disconnected. The only thing I did was moved. So KM4 turns on the servos. KM1 turns on the spindle. KM1 wasn't coming on, so I fished the wire out and plugged it in with KM4. So when you turn the machine on, they both turn on. Like there obviously was some
Nice.
logic in there that wasn't being met, and I just could not be bothered to figure it out. So yeah,
That sounds
it's
sounds like a minimal amount of problems for like a
oh
full
dude,
on retrofit.
yeah, it's been super smooth. Like literally, it'll be done as soon as I got the encoder working. We're gonna try pull it ground. If I can get that to work, then the retrofit will be done this week. If I can't, then I'm gonna order a board from China Land, and we'll just have to wait for that to come in to go from differential to single-ended signals, and then when that lands, we can fit it at his workshop so the machine can go. Like, it can run
Nice.
without an encoder.
Totally. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so yeah, it's basically done, which is cool. Like, it went really well, and the machine is so smooth and so quiet because the ball screws are quite small as well. So it's not this 32 mil ball screw spinning at like 3,000 RPM. It's like a 20 mil ball screw, so it's not that. You know the ball screw noise on an old machine when it goes fast? It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
have
yeah,
that
totally. Oh, that's
because
cool.
they're
That's
small ball
nice.
screws. But yeah,
Right.
it's got 240 millimeters of X travel. So like
Okay.
decent
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Wait, we haven't done the limit switches yet. That's the one other thing we've got to do, but that's quick. That's fish the wires through and connect them to the controller until it has home switches, and then we're not going to do limits. We're just doing homes. So once it homes, it's software limits, and on Line Extensi, that's good enough. Like it'll do
Yeah,
the
I
trick.
say in I don't run like any kind of limits
Yes.
other than software, and it's good.
Speaking of your lathe, guess what I've been watching?
Oh, the concrete lathe story, or
No, the Hardinge.
oh, that whole
I went
retrofit
back and
project.
rewatched because that was around the same time I was doing Bertha. Well, I
Oh,
think it was a
okay,
little bit. It was a
okay,
little bit after I did Bertha. I was doing Bertha around the same time Rotary SMP was started his machine. His
okay. Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
does he have? He's got a Hardin Jazz one. No,
No, he
what's
has
his
a
machine?
I can't remember now. I
Yeah,
can't
anyway,
remember.
he's got. Yeah, I started at the same time as him. I finished 2 weeks later, and he's still working on his. Um, but yeah, it's interesting to watch you go through the machine, like, and your videos on it. I was thoroughly enjoying it this week.
Yeah,
Old school
I
Curt
felt
videos.
I felt bad going through the Hardinge and just like taking out just like handfuls of like clockwork. I'm like, this has to be like this probably cost $5,000 when this thing was made, and I'm like, I'm just throwing it out because I'm like, we
Yep.
don't need this anymore. Like we don't. It's still like I'm just like, these are beautifully machined gears. Don't need them. It's
Yeah.
just like so much. I was like, I feel so bad.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of fancy stuff in your machine. Like,
Well, it was just
it's
like plain like DC motors and then
yeah,
just a
and
crazy amount of
resolvers.
clockwork. Yeah, it resolvers exactly to make it all work. And it was very precise, but I was like, I feel so bad just gutting all this and direct coupling a servo. It's like it's
Yeah,
better, but I'm like, wow. I'm like, this probably
no,
cost someone
that's
a lot of money and a lot of design and like, yeah, whatever.
yeah, no, that's. But yeah, I mean, thoroughly enjoying your older videos, like
No,
your
thanks, man.
the Confounded Chronicles.
Yeah,
Like, I enjoyed when you used to
those are
do
fun.
weekly content. It was great.
Oh man,
But yeah, it's a lot of
I
effort. That's the
so
thing. Like, I get
I
why.
so like it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
It's
But yeah, that's what I do
it's
on
so much
Instagram. Just
fun.
throw
Yeah.
shit on Instagram. It's easier,
Yeah, I
much
mean,
easier.
it's just not as long lived. It is nice to have like a something that
Yes,
is gonna like be there for a while. And I try to like I do back up like all my Instagram video just for my own personal
yes.
like so maybe one day when I'm 80 and I'm bored, I can like go back and just like view my life through video, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I've got mine archiving for the last few months. But sometimes it doesn't. It's a bit weird. The
Mm.
archiving to my phone. Then I've got the video if I want to share it with someone, not through Instagram.
Right. Yeah, yeah, totally.
Because, but yeah, I realized I didn't have any pictures on Instagram of the harbor on my machine, the 4 anchor points.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw that today. Yeah.
yesterday I had a customer come past, so I pulled the vices off quick to show them, and then I was like, okay, time to take a picture quickly, and then put the vices back on and carry on working. Um, because I had a request for some pictures of it, and now I have a request for quote that I need to work through for a
Mm,
few anchor
mm,
points that are going to
mm.
go onto a lang table. So there's potentially some issues with that because our machine, the backside of the lang studs go, then I bolt through those onto an anchor point. So in theory, there's a stack up of like 10 microns here, 10 microns there. So in theory, that pin position is not necessarily perfectly aligned to the lang studs, which isn't an issue if you're machining your pallets, but he wants to span them. So I need to just have a chat to him
Right.
about the best way to go about that. Like if you're going to make a big pallet that goes across all of them, I would suggest you only use 2 pins, the rest are clearance. you're going to need to probe where that pin is and probe where the other pin is to get their relationship.
Right. Yeah. I see what you
So
mean.
it's just
Yeah.
like it's small tolerance stack ups that start becoming major issues when you want to span like 8 of the freaking things.
Yeah.
Because
No
like,
doubt. No
yeah,
doubt.
all on my setup, I've got a setting plate where all the holes are tight. So I put all the anchor points onto that, and then I drop that onto the mooring plates, and that it can move around because the mooring plates, the bosses are loose. And then you start tightening down. You indicate the tramming plate, and that sets everything square and spaced. And then you tighten it
Right.
all down. So yeah, there's lots of fun shenanigans involved. But yeah, so
Yeah. I like.
what's going on in your side of the world?
Oh, I spent way too much time last night finalizing the design for that click pen. Just when we
Oh,
talked about it
nice.
last week in the
Yes.
after show, and you're like, you should do this. And I had like kind of a weird undercut, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. I should get rid of that undercut because then it would make it way easier to machine. So I was like, all I'm leaving that undercut in there is to try to get a little deeper in the pocket. I'm like, I can sacrifice the 1/8 inch that I would gain to
Well,
make it infinitely easier to machine.
you can also make the collar shorter.
And that's what I'm doing too. Yeah, I'm doing both. I'm making the collet shorter, and then so I'm only losing literally. I'm losing I don't know like 50 thou after now I've redesigned it, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's just like that's like the value of this podcast is just talking to somebody else and being like, oh, why are you doing that? I'm like, yeah, you're right. This makes it infinite. Like it's so much more difficult to machine it that way when I could do it another way. And I'm deliberately designing this pen so I can make more of them. I don't want to make
Lots
my
of them.
life
Yeah.
more difficult. Yeah.
No,
So, anyways, I was up to like, I mean, I fell asleep with my little rats, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and then I spent till like 5 in the morning just sitting drawing infusion because I was like, I want this done, and I want it done for the new year. That's my goal is to
yes.
have one done, and so yeah, I spent a copious amount of time on that, which was lovely. It is so so I think I'm going to slowly start machining the actual mechanism because I can do that without having to do any fourth axis work.
Okay.
And then and we talk. I was like ranting about like not ranting, but I was talking last week about how like fourth axis fusion is like I'm like, oh, it's like rather expensive for the manufacturing extension. And like
Yeah.
the second like I finished the design, I'm like, okay, I need the extension. I'm like, oh, it's actually not that expensive. Like just the way my brain shifted when I'm like, now I have to machine, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna
When
be
you need
doing
it. Yeah.
a yeah, I'm gonna be doing a ton of revisions on that code. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna buy the credit because then so I'm like, I better look at the price. So I looked at the price for the credit option I was talking about, and it cost
Yes.
$500, which buys me 10 days of access anytime I want to use in a year.
Okay.
Which okay,
That's
so call it $50 a day.
what is the
Um,
extension cost for the year?
the extension itself costs like I'm sorry, I'm putting these in Canadian dollars, just
Oh, that's
reduce it
fine.
by a
Don't
little
worry.
bit. The extension for the entire year is like 2,400 bucks or something like that.
Okay. Makes yeah.
So significantly more, but then you have 365-day access to it.
Yeah. Instead of 50
And
days for the same amount if you buy the
and you
credits.
well, and I also didn't realize I can just buy a month of it. I didn't know I could buy the extension for a month.
Oh,
So
cool.
for 250 bucks, I can buy it for a month. So I'm like, oh, that's 100% worth it for me. And then
Yeah.
Fusion also lets you buy a year, and then they let you align the start dates so that
Okay.
you can. So I can just buy the rest of the year now of that extension, and it discounts it because
Oh,
my
nice.
year
Okay.
for Fusion starts in
Yes.
September, so it cuts off a couple months. Anyways, I was just
Okay.
like, oh, this is not at all an issue. Like this is
Yeah, because
way better than I thought. So yeah.
my fusion's coming up now on the 2nd of December. I've got to pay for fusion.
Mm.
But I got price locked last year, so I'm still getting it for like I think it's $500 or $450 or something. Still get it really cheap. It's
I
like
try to do that whenever it's a deal. I try to get the 3 years. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it was last year. If you subscribed, you got it. Whatever you paid then is locked for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I am actively working on justifying toolpath at this point. I can tell you now, it saved
Yeah.
me over an hour yesterday.
Yeah.
And not
That's
an hour
awesome.
of me clicking, an hour of me fucking around trying not to click because I would have procrastinated. Whereas now I can just send it to Toolpath, pull it back down, add a couple operations manually, and hit go. So
Okay, so
yeah,
you only need to save like now another 59 hours to make it fully
yes.
pay for itself.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
we're
sick.
getting there. We're 58 hours away. It's
Yeah.
justified. No, that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
I know, like I had the part. I'm like, oh, this is going to be so annoying to program. There's twice this week or 3 times this week. I'm like, I don't want to program it because it's just I've got to go through and click. So I'll go find something else to do, and then I'm like, hang on, just push it to toolpath. bring it back
Yeah.
down, and then add the slitting saw stuff because I was doing a bunch of one and done stuff. So yeah, like it's very it's saving me a lot of time in that I don't go and meander around and try to find reasons not to program it. And it's
Totally. Yeah.
doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. Well, I
But,
mean, just speaking of programming, like I was racking my brain, like trying to keep these clips off the fourth axis.
yeah,
And then like at one point yesterday night, morning, whatever you want to call it, in my weird fugue state of programming, I was like, why don't I just like start running them on the fourth? Because it would make life so much easier. And I'm like,
yes,
once that becomes annoying, I can always move it. I can always change it. I'm like, I can just start with that. And then if I get really crafty, I might be able to do it as a one and done
on the
job.
fourth, yeah.
And I was like, on the fourth, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I can only hold one at a time, but I'm like, it's just removing that barrier of like, okay, well, then I
Yes.
have to build soft jaws and I have to build, this other set of soft jaws to hold it in this orientation and all that. And I'm like, just to line up for production that might not even exist with that design. Like maybe I'll have to change something. So I'm like,
Sure.
just don't be stupid, put it on the fourth, machine a handful and see if they work. So,
Yeah.
just like,
100%. Like, yeah, it's the mental inertia with programming parts and new parts. It's just getting to doing it. Like, in your mind, it's a huge ordeal. In reality, it's not. Like, yeah, I batched out a bunch of parts this week. It's like, it's a huge thing to program. In reality, I've got the part modeled in 5 minutes. It's in the machine. Like, I've got to go find a piece of material to machine it out of. Like, oh no, it's terrible. And,
no, exactly.
I was made fun of on the community call on Toolpath for spending 10 minutes programming slitting saws. They're like, just put it on the belt sander. I'm like, no, it comes off the machine, done. So I machined the part from the top with Toolpath. Like, I actually tweaked a few things so I could do it exactly how I want. Then I drew a sketch on the bottom, mirrored it. The bar puller's arms, I wanted undercut an like 0.2 of a mil. So I ran those 2 tool parts. Then I slit the back off. Then the part comes off finished, and there's a little step and everything. I get quite creative with the slitting saws, right up until I explode them.
I'm on Jamie's side for that. I think that's the best way to do it. So the slitting saw is
one and done. Like yesterday I was making parts for the good way, making the way cover mounts and those as well. That I came up with a workflow for Toolpath. Toolpath will not let you send a setup that has 2 bodies in it. So I just mirrored the body because I need a left and a right and try to push it. It's like, nope, error. I'm like, okay, cool. Modeled a web across the bottom that's 0.8 thick and like 0.2 wide. Then it machines down to the bottom of that. Then I just program the slitting saw off the bottom of that web and it slits it off. And then I forgot to comp to put enough passes on the one side and end up exploding my slitting saw because I was taking a 3mm cut at stupid fast. So yeah, that took me half an hour to get it off the arbor because when it explodes, it tightens the arbor more.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the arbor slips in my ER32 collet that it's in. So I ended up putting a wrench on it and hitting it with a block of aluminium so it would shock the nut loose. Eventually got it loose. And then I've got 3 spares because always have spares. Got that retouched off and then ran another batch of those parts. And that way cover will be on today. I've got to make some little plastic spaces to go behind it so that the way cover, the piece of aluminium angle, the way cover slots in, and then there's a block of plastic behind it that touches the table so it can't flex.
Oh, okay.
It's a little janky, the shit I'm pulling there. But that way cover will be on today, and then that'll be done. But slitting saws, my friend. So let me just tick that off quickly. There we go. The Dutchman Squeeze Box guys came past yesterday. So they phoned me on Tuesday. And they're like, hey, can we come past on Saturday? I've made parts for the one guy. The last batch of pins I made, half went to the one guy, half went to his friend. And he's like, no, he wants to bring his friend through. He needs some parts made. He wants to come see the shop and chat to me. I'm like, no problem. Yeah, they came and dropped off 3,000 parts worth of orders. And then wanted me to make sample screws for another 2,000 brass screws. So I was chatting to them, and the guy's like, yeah, he's got a little lathe. He makes the buttons, and it took him 3 weeks to make 250 buttons. And he was like, so the guy I've been doing work for a while, the new guy was like, no, you're wasting your money. Why don't you make the stuff yourself? And then he realized, wait, have someone who's good at it, make it, and you can make your product you actually sell. So they want 1,000 of the buttons. 1,000 little plates, another 1,000 little plates, and then 2,000 screws. So I'm
That's
like,
enough. Yeah.
not a problem. The plates are my favorite because I put a piece of brass uprights in the vise, and then I hit go, and I come back in 26 minutes, and there's 36 parts at the back of the machine.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yeah,
that's sick. That's
like
good. Yeah.
so it's mill, chamfer, drill, backside chamfer, slitting saw, drop down, next one, and just fucking shit parts out. I did 1,000 of them for a while ago, like a year ago. I did 1,000 of them, and that took, I think,
Nice.
just over a day to machine them.
Nice. And it's
So
all
it's
brass, you said?
all brass. It's literally just let the machine run. It's
Yeah.
easy work, and that's the
I'd
shit
say
I
your
want. I
tool.
want small, simple parts. That's the kind of work I'm looking for.
Yeah,
Like,
when
I
your
don't want
tools
to
are
do.
mint, like,
Yeah,
yeah, you're gonna be. Yeah.
yeah. I'm going to run them all, and my tool's not going to have even noticed that it's been doing anything. I think last time I rigid tapped 1,000 holes with the hand tap that I ground the end off
Right.
of.
Yeah.
Like, I'll probably
Yeah.
buy a thread
Yeah.
mill. Although I don't know, I'm probably going to just put tool brake detect on that and just make sure it doesn't break and just let it run again because it worked.
Yeah.
So if it worked,
Yeah.
don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that's
with you
going
on
to be
that.
fun.
Yeah.
That's this week. Like, they like send a quote, so we can give you money. So I need to just check if I have brass today, and then I'll send them a quote and be like, "Cool, let's go. I can make your 1,000 plates. I'll be ready end of the week." Because I've got, I think,
Cool.
200 pieces of aluminium arriving this week as well for different jobs.
Wow.
Like 200 little blocks. There's like 20 of this and 50 of this, and then like 30 of the mag bases I make. I'm just making stock again because I'm flat out of stock. So last time I bought 60 pieces, made 30, put them on the shelf, got an order for 30, made the other 30, got another order, and now I'm shit out of stock. So while I'm not getting orders, let me make more stock because they take all of 6 minutes to machine. I may as well just spend half a day machining them and putting them on the shelf because they
Yeah.
do
No. Totally.
slowly move. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's raining properly now. Jeez, so just look at my cameras. There's water running in
I
front of
can't
the one. It's great.
can't
I know
quite
you
hear
won't
it
hear
yet.
it.
So.
No.
Oh.
We've got tiles. You don't hear it on the roof tiles.
Oh.
It's
Fair.
really got to
Okay.
be
Yeah.
beating down for the roof tiles to hear. But yeah, so that's for the squeeze box. So there's a tool path. I've got a really stupid part, the buttons. So it's a turned component with a cross drilled hole, but it's countersunk on both sides, or countersunk on both sides. So when you push the button, the pin that's in it can clear.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't want to
I
load the
get.
parts in the machine lots of times.
Okay.
So I'm
I think
thinking
I know where this is going. Yeah.
lollipop cutter
Yeah. Yeah.
or
100%.
chamfer mill. Yeah, so then I can make a pallet that I stick like freaking 20 of the things out the side on each side, and then just
Yeah.
come in and droop, droop. I think it'll work. I'm going to make some samples and see. Just getting a lollipop cutter here is a bit of a problem. So I'm going to see if I can get I might actually just try it with a big thread mill, like as a proof of
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
concept. And then I can order the
Yeah.
exact size tool I need from China and wait for it to come. And I said to them, because we're discussing the screws, I'm like, listen, I'll make sample screws, but if we're going to go into production, you're looking at probably a month for fixturing because I need to buy a whole bunch of 4mm M4 Mighty Bites, and there's no way I'm buying them from Mighty Bites.
Yeah.
I can get
Fair.
40 of them for the price of 8 if I
Yeah.
buy
Yeah. I get that.
from the Oriental. So yeah, I will be getting them from there.
Yeah.
Either that or making my
I know.
own, which I have been known to do.
Yeah, I have so many little things where I'm like, oh, I need a lollipop cutter, and same thing. I just like, oh, I'll use a thread mill, like it'll work. But I was like, I need to get my hand on a few of those because they're
So I
so useful
know
for that kind of stuff.
high-tech machine tools locally, they're the Mazak dealers. I've spoken to Chris there, and he's like, oh no, he has them custom made locally. So if I need one, I must just shout. It's not cheap, but I can get one now because they do a bunch of fancy shit on the Mazaks. Like,
Yeah.
it's a Mazak. They are really nice machines. My old boss's son just ordered a Mazak lathe for turning ball screws. He's a THK agent, so they want to bring machining of ball screws in house, and he reckons 5 months lead time.
Ooh. Yeah.
So I was chatting to him about collet systems and whatnot, because you get the Royal systems, but there's a better one that's not round; it's actually hexagonal or octagonal, and they claim 2 microns run out.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I was like, dude, that would be what I would go with if I was doing ball screws because it's standard sizes. Yeah. You can change over in 20 seconds, and you've got really good concentricity and really good clamping for what you want to do. I mean, you're machining a freaking thread and whatnot on the end. Like, it's not complicated. But yeah, that was a very interesting conversation when I was chatting to him about that.
Hmm.
So yeah, how's your 3D scanner, Mister Influencer?
It's actually pretty freaking cool. I didn't the last 3D scanner I messed with was like 2011,
Oh wow, okay, yeah,
2010. So like that was my last, and that was like lots of DIY solutions, lots of
yes,
very expensive software. Nothing was dedicated. Like structured light scanning just came out, and that was still a lot of money for the software. And so yeah, anyways, I messed with this one, and it's pretty. It's a the Metro Y Pro. It's pretty freaking cool. It's pretty. It's I had like I kind of assumed it would do a lot more than it can do. It's
yeah,
good. I don't think it'll work for my purposes, but for like bringing a model into CAD where then you can draw proper features off of,
yeah.
especially if it's organic. Like if you had to CAD model something organic, 100% the way to go. If you can access it with calipers, gauges,
It's easier
literally
to
anything
just draw it.
else, way easier that way. Yeah, if it's geometric shapes, not a
Yeah,
chance you would scan it and be time ahead. But yeah, if you want to copy like a car bumper, like I get why all the car guys have them because I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, this is infinitely easier.
You can scan it and pick up where all the mounting points are and shit. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Stuff that you would be very difficult to like hand measure and get accurate results. Like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And they do like it does like feature recognition, so you don't even have to have marker dots. Like it'll just
oh nice. Yeah,
and understand the move. Like they're pretty cool. They're pretty
yeah.
cool. So
Now I played
I've
with
been
my
pissing around
mate
with that.
Roger's one, and we scanned the boat, and we scanned a few odds and ends. Um, and yeah, if you like, we actually took a rag and threw a crumpled up rag in the boat because it was
Yep,
too smooth, and then it scans that, and you just chop it out when you're done. But it's got enough texture that it can map that texture.
totally.
It's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
cool. Like I've got the model of the boat. I'm not going to use it because I need to make a freaking plywood insert. Like it's not really worth the time to go
yeah,
and
yeah.
model over it. Like there's some techniques I know to make that do what I want. Oh wow, the monsoon has arrived. It's
Yeah.
bucketing
So
down currently.
I had some plans of like what I was going to use it for because like obviously there's a deal like they want me to shoot a video in order to
Yes,
keep it. And the video I wanted to do, it's not going to pair well with it. So I'm going to do something different now. But I
you're
wanted
going to
to
scan
scan
your
a
workshop
very
instead.
well. I wanted to scan a part that's like literally like a 4 millimeter diameter pin that was
Oh
like
jeez.
15 millimeters long, and I'm like just warning you, like I know that's going to be at the limit of your system and it would work, but it's kind of like one of those things of like why like
Yeah,
why are you doing this? And like anywhere that watched the video, if you had any kind of knowledge, you'd be like, what's the point? So I kind of want to shoot a video that's like actually usable, like useful information. So
yeah, useful to
yeah,
someone other than yeah, 100%.
useful other than just being like this is just content I'm putting out to
Yes,
satisfy a contract. Like I kind of want to put something out where people are like, oh, that's a cool use case,
yeah,
and they'll also gain access to that content. So I'm like, well, of course I'm going to put my product into it because then like I get
100%.
free mark. It works both ways. Like there's so
Yes,
yeah, I've been kind of thinking about that for a bit, but yeah,
yeah.
it's cool. It's cool. Who would have thought technology would evolve in like,
Dude,
15 odd
technology is
years?
crazy at this point. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the 3D scanning, 3D printing, all that stuff is just going so quickly. It's terrifying. I mean, that the
Yeah.
machine behind me is 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old now. It's so outdated. It's hilarious. Like, you look at the new bamboos, they're pulling bearing press fits off of the printer without trying. You model it
Yeah.
to size, it comes off that size because there's so many of them in the wild, and they've figured so much of the like. Yeah, they've got contour compensation, all sorts of fancy shit in the back end that the average user is never going to play with. They're just
Yeah.
going to print a
Yeah,
thing and it's
totally.
going to be right, and that's just through scale they've managed to achieve that.
Well, and that was like speaking of like technology and software and advancing, that was my main thing like with 3D scanning. I'm like, it's
Mm.
pointless because it dumps you a model and you're like, okay, sweet. Now I have this humongous mesh model. Like, what am I going to
Yeah,
do with it? I have to patch it. I have to, and the software was so lacking. It's like I have this holy mesh that I can't use for anything. And now the software is like, oh, it's like there's like a one click like fusion. I'm like, this is not going to work. And I click it and it's like, oh, it's like 99% perfect. I was like,
yeah.
that's impressive. Like
No, like that's the
that
thing.
brought it from useful
Yeah,
or like a trinket to like something useful. So
yeah, but that's
yeah,
again having the scale to be able to just throw resources behind it and develop the stuff. Like back when you tried it
yeah,
last time, it was a bunch of guys. Oh, this thing exists. Let's try jankily make it ourselves in our spare time. Like, dude, that was Hackaday and Instructables back in the early 2010s. That's what it was. Guys like, oh,
yeah,
I saw this thing. I've made my own copy of it. It's really shit, but technically it works.
Yeah, no, totally.
And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
technically it works. And that's what Instructables and Hackaday and all those places were in the early 2010s.
Oh yeah, I was like, yeah, take this mesh and bring it into Mesh Mixer, and now
Yeah,
have a PhD knowledge of the software because it's going to take you 8 hours to figure out how to make this.
yes.
It's like,
And then
oh my
Autodesk
god.
are going to change the UI for you.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah,
like, oh, this is so
no,
much
it's
effort.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it used to be
technology is
way
cool.
too much effort. But yeah, it's amazing how that stuff has just gotten easier and easier. But that's again with scale. Like
Yeah.
scale makes things easier. Even like Fusion, you look at when Fusion was introduced. When was that? It was like 2013, 2014, and
Yeah.
how that changed programming of CNC parts because now you've got this large user base using it because it was free,
Mhm.
and then it evolved and evolved and evolved and evolved, and it's just gotten better and better over time. And then yeah, they moved buttons, and now I'm angry.
Well, like 3D printing came out, and like you had
Yeah,
to be a wizard to be printing your own
dude.
products because you had to have good CAD knowledge. You had to know how to output it as an STL. You had to know how to
In
run
the
a
right
slicer properly
orientation, because you couldn't
in the
reorient.
in the right
Dude, that used to
orientation.
kill me when I built my first printer. I was using Slicer or Slice 3R, and you had to bring it in the right orientation. Then I went to Cura because I could move the orientation because every dickhead on Thingiverse would output it in the wrong freaking orientation. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
And yeah, you used to have to have a shitload of knowledge of it. Now you push it, you say easy mode, print, and it's done. Like,
Yep.
but again, scale.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's why, like,
That's
because yeah, now you buy a printer not because you want a hobby, because you want to print shit.
absolutely. So
I
now if
actually
they
need to
can
order
just do
socks
that
for one.
with 2D printers, I'll be
Yeah,
all
that would be
for it.
great. Yeah, basically,
They can
HP
make
needs to
paper
just
printers.
dude. My mother-in-law has an HP printer. It won't scan because she put a non-genuine ink cartridge in once.
Right? Like,
It's like,
what are
what
we
the hell?
doing? What are we
Yeah,
doing?
no, like there will be nothing HP in my house ever. I'm not interested in touching their stuff. They are anti-consumer as hell. My favorite is their call center. Puts you on hold for 15 minutes before it'll put you through to somebody in an attempt to get you to fix the problem yourself. Like literally, if you
I
phone the HP helpline, you will wait 15 minutes, regardless of how
yeah,
busy they are. They just put you on a hold to try and get you to fix it yourself.
yeah,
It's
that makes
insane.
sense.
Like,
I
yeah,
remember when
absolutely insane.
we bought an office printer, and I remember setting it up, and it asked me, it's like, do you want to put in your address so I can auto order my own ink? I was like, no, that sounds like a
Yeah,
horrible idea. Like, I'm going to keep a pistol next to you, and if you make weird noises,
yeah,
like, that's the amount of leash I'm giving you. That's
yeah,
it. So,
yeah. No, fucking hell.
yeah.
No, I must say the Epson ink tanks are really good. The ink's
Mm,
cheap. Danica's printed probably 10,000 pages through our one. Um,
mm.
because she does bookbinding and she'll literally print a whole freaking book on the printer.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I've got a little black and white laser printer, and that thing I feel nothing to print a 500-page manual.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
now when I bought them originally, you couldn't get knockoff cartridges, and the cartridge cost twice as much as the printer. Now you get knockoff ones. The printer's only like $40, and you put a knockoff cartridge, and you can print like 2 or 3,000 pages through it on a single
Yeah.
cartridge. Like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
need to be able to print stuff in the workshop because admin
Yeah.
and shit. But yeah, before we continue, we have Patreons, and they make the wheels on the podcast go round and round. Thank you to all of our
Mm.
Patreons who get the fancy after show. Thank you to Jade from Benchmark 20, Luke from Fantastic, AJ from Subtract Manufacturing and 22 other companies, EJ from Nocturnal Welding, Jason S, and the Aussie Machinist. And yes, that number keeps going up. Yeah, the money from the Patreons going towards IMTS next year, where we're going to kidnap Curt and go over Joel. Also, we will be doing a Monday meetup because if I manage to get Curt to go there, I'm not going there to buy a machine. So I'm going there. For me, it's just making sure that I can see what's new and amazing in the world and not fall behind. So yeah, if anyone wants to meet up on the Monday and have someone to walk around the show with, I'll be there on the Monday and we'll do a meetup. But yeah, we'll solicit
Cool.
somebody for a booth that we can do the meetup in.
Or just
Yeah.
meet in the bathroom.
Yes, we'll meet in the hall 8. What's it? What was I think hall C? Anyway, we'll let you know about where the meetup's going to be. But yeah, I'm going to do a Monday meetup because I'm not there to buy a machine. So I'm there to just look at what's cool and make some contacts. Like Danica and I actually chatting about the last year's trip, and how that has actually led to a bunch of interesting stuff. Like we can tangibly say it was worth going there now.
That's cool. That's
Because
good.
yeah, it wasn't exactly the cheapest trip to fly out to the US and stay there for a week, but yeah, definitely worth the money. Like just for the networking alone, it's worth it.
Yeah, no, I could see value.
And I
in
get
that for
free
sure.
entry into IMTS because I'm a foreigner.
Oh,
Yes. So Danik has already signed us both up. You'd also be a foreigner.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, we've both signed up already for IMTS 2026.
Yeah. I mean, they probably won't let me back into Canada. They'll send me off to some prison, but either way, at least I get in for free.
You can just swim across the lake. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a cold lake. It's a big cold lake.
I'll bring you a dry suit.
Bring your boat.
We'll build you a cardboard canoe and you can paddle.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
So what's your?
Go for it.
Whatever you want.
No, go for it.
I said, what's your awesome anno?
I don't know if you saw that. Oh, yeah, you did see it. You liked it. The Hulk anno for the gang blocks.
Yes.
So I put a poll out, but I limited it to 3 hours. I was going to anodize it that afternoon, and then didn't feel like it. But yeah, gave options to the Instagram community, and green came back. And then that green, oh my word, on the 7075, it's so deep and like, yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really vibrant.
Yeah, and then the purple bar puller. So it's Hulk.
Yeah.
So those cool. I don't have bolts. I need M8x90 cap screws. And the hardware store up the road didn't have, so I'll have to go on Monday to the industrial supply place and just go pick up some bolts. And then I can bolt them to the table, boring head in the spindle, bore the bores out, and then I'm ready to run parts.
Cool. That's good. That's awesome.
Like running production parts on there. I've started putting covers on. I'm sorting out the last way cover. So machine will be buttoned up and running parts this week.
That's cool. I like the weight covers on that machine too. They're like the I think like Star Swiss lathes have the same one. Kind of like
I bought that from Chinaland because that cover was missing.
Cool.
Yeah, so I just bought that one cover and I'm busy attaching that. That's the weight cover that I still have to attach.
I like those. Yeah,
they're cool. Like shit will still get under them, but you can just flip it up and clean. Yeah. That's fine. Like there was a cover on the end of the boxways that I left off. So if shit gets in there, it can drain out because it had a cover on both ends, so it would fill up with freaking coolant.
Yeah,
that's kind of stupid. So I just left the cover off. Optimized the design, saving weight.
Perfect.
Yeah, even Carl's MPG, I saved weight. It had 6 screws, so I put 2 back in. It's not going to fall apart. Also, the screws were not the OEM screws. They were cut off with a bolt cutter and then just forced in. So getting them out was a bit of an issue. So we'll swap them for decent ones. Yeah, but that anode, and then also I anode some anchor points that are leaving on Monday. I actually need to have a chat to the people they're going to. Some custom branded ones that are going out as samples because I wasn't happy with the surface finish. There were 3 that I wasn't happy with the surface finish when I machined them, and then I changed end mills. And then the other 9 I'm happy with. So those 3 got sampleized and trying to get some goodwill at one of the places. So
nice.
I'm sure they'll show up on Instagram in the next week or so.
That's awesome. And I also hate that when you change a tool and you're like, oh no, that's all it was. And you're like, God damn, I guess these are all same. I've played that game so many times.
So it's my long 12 mil. And the problem is I use it every now and again. Like that tool actually got taken out and put away. But I'd used it a little bit, so it wasn't cutting nicely. So I put a fresh one in, and beautiful. So now I need to order another 3 of those from Chinaland, so that I have spares for the next batch of anchor points, which may be coming up rather quickly.
Cool.
I need to send out a quote for basically the rest of what I have in stock.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll see. Yeah. So I need to chat to them and get that all buttoned up, and then I'll have to run another batch, which will be cool. Like I'm kind of thinking I should. Yeah, we'll see. I might just order the material and do it in the beginning of January when things are a little bit quiet. Just rock out the next batch of anchor points that I've got stock again of like another probably 10 or 20 units.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, the anode, I've got the anode at this point pretty freaking dialed. Like my process is pretty dialed.
I'd say so.
The only issue I have is consistency of color. And that comes down to a multitude of factors. There's pH, there's amount of dissolved aluminium in your acid. There's a whole bunch of factors. So it is what it is. There's expect variation in the color.
Yeah.
I don't have enough currents to get black, so it's dark gray.
Yeah. It looks good. I saw that dark gray. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't worry. That's your color choice. I know that.
Oh, I was like, ooh, those are pretty. I'm like, this is making
Yeah,
me. I am as I'm designing this stupid pen. I'm not
just
making the same mistake again. I'm like every single part. I'm like it has to fit on a palette, or else I'm not interested. Because I'm like I'm not playing this stupid game of soft jaws anymore. Like
yeah,
makes me
no,
want to
100%.
walk into traffic. Yeah,
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll chat about that after, about how you plan on laying out all your piece of material and what material you're using, all that shit. I'm kind of curious.
yeah. It's basically what you told me. It's nothing rocket surgery. Just like yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be much easier than the stupid way
Yeah.
I was doing it. But live and learn.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have a look after the thing. Yeah. So how's your
Fun.
local AR going?
Great. It's and horrible simultaneously. It's like the problem is like I'm also very interested in this, just like as a technical
Yes.
interesting. Like to me, it's just like it's crazy interesting. If I had no use out of this, I would still do it. Like it's
Yeah.
really fun. But it works oddly well. It the more I learn about AI, the more I realize I know nothing about AI, and the more I realize we are so far away from AGI. And then the more I also realize we are so stupidly close to AGI. It's like a weird thing where it's like you can view it from so many different angles.
Yeah.
But anyways, for people following along, I'm using Olama, which is like one of the greatest open source like AI kind of things, and I'm coupling it with another piece of software called Anything LLM, which is also open source, and it lets you run locally on your system depending on how much graphics RAM you have. You can run different models on your system, and then by using Anything LLM, it lets you couple what they call agents, and agents let you
Okay.
do fancy things like because if it's a local system, it can't access the internet. But an agent will let you be like, "Hey, can you search the internet for whatever news on when an asteroid's going to hit Earth?" And it'll go, "Okay," and then it'll search the web and it'll come back with your answer. So you're not running on the cloud. You're still running
Yeah.
locally, but have access to it. Anyways, and you can do things like, can you write me an email? Like you can interact with your software. Can you save this to my desktop? Like that kind of stuff I want to do, where it's not just like I don't I
Yeah.
don't need a friend to chat to. I mean, I kind of like having a friend to chat to, but that's where you come in. I don't need AI to
Yes.
do that.
You don't need
Um
a robot for that.
but yeah, so anyways, it's really cool. The one thing I wanted to do, and I kind of sent you an image for it, is I started downloading all the transcriptions for our podcasts
Yeah.
and block it in as a basically long-term memory so I could search it. But that's not the way
Yes.
AI works. It uses vectorized memory and it chunks data, so you can't
Uh,
scrub through like a billion page document and be like, how many times did I say the word poop
yeah.
or whatever? And it
Psychopaths,
goes, you
apparently, we
said
say that a lot.
or psychopath. Yeah, like it doesn't do that. That's not how AI
Yeah.
works because that's not how the memory is stored. And it's just like learning how the memory is stored. It's been interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been having a lot of fun with it. So
Okay.
it's it's made me realize why like I looked at the so a lot of these models are kind of like compressed models. AI is basically just chains of numbers in boxes if you want to think of it that way.
Yeah.
And these numbers are like 32-bit floating numbers, like enormously long numbers, and you have an enormous amount of them, and you have to store it only in video RAM. You can't store it in RAM. It has to be in video RAM to run these models. So like if you want to run like there's not data on it because they don't release this, but if you want to run like the latest chat GPT model, like what they're running in the cloud,
Yeah.
you're probably looking at something around like probably between 400 and 800 gigabytes
Oh
of
wow.
VRAM that you
Yeah.
need to just run the model. Like DeepSeek, you can download DeepSeek, the full model, and it's I think 440 gigabytes of RAM
Jeez. Yeah, that's
if you
insane.
want to run it in its full form. So it's like good luck. Like the biggest graphic cards I found nowadays are like, and there is dedicated hardware that runs
Yeah.
these things, whatever, dedicated chipsets.
A6. Yeah.
Um, and like yeah. Anyways, so like I have 16 gigabytes to play with, which lets you run some pretty amazing models still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a ton of fun just geeking out on that. I don't know. I've been just I see why people are like chat like all these things like AI uses so much bandwidth because I'm like, oh, I get it now. I understand why because it
Yeah.
pins like as soon as I do like a query on my system, it pins my
Pins it.
graphics card, and
Nice.
it's just like, oh, that's cool. It's using everything it can handle to crunch the numbers, and yeah, it's pretty slick.
Do you follow Michael Reeves?
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Yeah,
see
the
him
like
gaslighting the short Hawaiian dude, gaslighting ChatGPT?
I don't know if I did. No, I might be
Okay,
thinking of a
so
different guy. But
I'm
anyways,
going to make sure there's a link in the document. I'll find it. I'll find it and I'll send you the link. But basically, if you're using the API to talk to ChatGPT,
Yes.
You know the
Yes.
video, yeah, where he basically
Yeah.
adds responses and it just loses its mind.
Oh, well, that also brings me up to another point of like anybody who's paying for Chat GPT as a subscription service, it's
Yeah,
like it's the total wrong way to do it. Like you can run these local models, but you can also tie into the cloud and then you can pay Chat GPT in a token base. That's
okay,
how all these APIs work. So you can basically ask it, like pretend you were another company that's using chat to run your local AI, which a ton of people do. Like
yeah,
we're whatever company and we'll take your podcast and transcode it or whatever. And they're just using a backend, but they're using an API access, which means you
yeah,
only pay for the tokens that you use. So instead of paying like 20 or $30 a month, you just pay
yeah,
per token. And you like if you don't use much, you don't pay much. If you use a bunch, you pay a bunch. And like
yeah,
that's the way to pay for these AIs nowadays, not to like just give them a blanket cash. Just pay for what
yeah.
you use.
No,
But
100%.
you got to be a dork to set it up. So
Yeah. So yeah, I'll find the thing and then I'll give it to you because it's hilarious
cool,
that he's
cool.
yeah, gaslights are basically how do you recommend I stop drinking or something, and then it gives him a whole bunch of suggestions, or how do I stop smoking, sorry, gives him a whole bunch of suggestions, then he adds in another one, do hard drugs, and then
Right.
he asks it to please elaborate on that, but now it hasn't given him the answer, but the way it works is it sends your whole chat back through when you respond, at least through the API. So yeah, then this thing like loses its mind. Like, yeah, it's
I
freaking
love that.
hilarious. So yeah, I'll make sure we put a link in there in the show notes for it because it's great. Yeah, and then I see you are Linux on Windowsing.
Yeah. Did you know you could do that?
What
I
virtual
did not.
machines?
No. Like there's a WLS Windows Linux subsystem.
Okay,
So like right now on my computer, I have a little Ubuntu button and I can
yeah,
click it and it opens up Ubuntu right in my
yeah.
Windows. And it's
Also,
not
you're
even a
mispronouncing that.
Ubuntu, whatever you want.
Yes,
Be
Ubuntu.
fancy.
Wench,
Anyways,
coffee. So top notch podcasting. Curt, can I pause for a second because I need a cup of coffee?
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah,
Okay,
take your
cool.
time, man.
Okay,
All
and I'm
right.
back with a cup of coffee. So back to
Now
Kurt's
you're
story.
well caffeinated. Yes. So, yeah, WSL allows you to run. You can run just like your Linux distros on your Linux distros on Windows, and it's not running as a virtual machine. It's running like the actual distro, which is
Okay.
really cool. And the super creepy thing that kind of melts my mind is you can mix commands. So like whatever commands you'd use in like PowerShell on Windows, and then commands used in just like terminal on Linux,
Yeah.
you can just like you can cross pollinate, which is just like I was just like,
Okay.
this seems wrong on 900 levels. So, anyways, if you guys want to mess with it, go on your like Windows computer, open up command prompt or whatever it's called, PowerShell.
Yeah.
Type WSL space dash dash install. Boom, hit it, and it'll automatically install Ubuntu for you. And I don't know if you can use like a GUI, like a GUI, like I don't
Okay.
know
So
if you can.
it's just running the like the back end side of it.
Yeah, well, you know, it might let you actually run the GUI. I don't need it for that. I'm just using
Yeah.
it for but yeah, it's
Using it
creepy how well it
for
works.
the AR stuff.
Yeah, because it runs
Okay.
everything is so much better on
Yeah.
Linux. I mean,
Yes.
in general, but for AI stuff, it's just like you can direct pull and just it's so much nicer.
Yeah, I haven't got
Um,
around to switching to Linux for my work PC yet.
I know I kind of want to,
Yeah,
but
so do I.
yeah, it's
I'm
the
trying
more
to
I
be a
like the
responsible adult, and it turns out really difficult to buy a freaking small computer case these days.
oh
Like
yeah
the
yeah
local
fair.
places doesn't have any of the ones I want anymore. Like every time I load one in my cart, I come back like 3 days later and it's out of stock. It's very, very
Buy
frustrating.
buy a giant one. That's the way to go.
No, I want a mini PC in my workshop. I have a giant one. The giant one's actually coming inside upstairs here for Danica.
Hmm.
My well, fuck at this point, 14-year-old gaming PC is finally going to be retired.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's up there.
it's a Sempron X6, AMD Sempron X6 or Phenom X6, Phenom X6.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like yeah,
Wow.
six
Yeah,
cores from
yeah,
when 6 cores weren't cool. Um, it's
yeah.
got like 12 gigs of RAM in it, but yeah, one of the RAM sticks is getting dodgy. I have to reseat it like once a week now. So I think
Oh
that
no.
case I'm gonna play musical PCs and just move a bunch of shit around to get us
Right.
two decent PCs and this gaming PC for our TV. Because
Right,
I
right,
could
right.
steal
Yeah,
this
yeah.
case, but I kind of want a smaller case. I'm just being
Fair
pedantic.
enough.
So
Nah,
like,
they're cute. I like the little
yeah,
builds too. They're fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a deep cool one that I don't really want. I don't like the case that much, but it's all that's left in the micro and the mini RTX like options.
Well, the stupid part, like this, I'm blaming everything here on my interest in AI. Is like, oh, I want to build like I want to buy like the dedicated motherboard so I can run these crazy like VRAM to build it in my basement, build like my own like supercomputer, and just
Does
like
it does it have
why?
to
I
be
don't know why.
VRAM or can it run in your
Has to be
RAM?
VRAM.
Okay.
No, and like the data watching, like, because some people, because I was like, oh, I'll use Apple because Apple has unified memory, so you can use the RAM as graphics RAM. I was like, perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna buy a bunch of like Macs and just link them all together. Which people have obviously done. I'm not the first one to figure this out. And then you start realizing you're limited by interconnectable speed.
Yes.
Like even
Interconnect
if you use
speeds. Yeah.
their like Thunderbolt or whatever Apple
Yeah.
has that goes faster than your 10 gigabit or whatever you can get through a network cable, it's still like the limiting factor. It's like the amount of data that these models push through is mind-boggling.
Insane.
Like
Or even if you look at the amount of
incredible.
data HDMI 2.1 can push through, it's insane. Like
Oh
just to your
yeah, I
display, the amount of data, yeah, it is an enormous number of gigabytes per second.
it's
Because now,
crazy.
like the
Crazy.
2.1 standards pushing through HDR stuff, and yeah, like the amount, like a TV, the amount of data that a TV is passing is insane. Especially like a fancy TV with local dimming zones, where it's got like 2,000 dimming zones, and is looking at what's on the screen and deciding what the backlight needs to be in that specific zone of the screen.
Right. I didn't even
It's
think about that.
the amount of data that's going on like on a high end big TV is nuts.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm sure
Wild.
LTT did a TV where it was like a 144 inches, some giant freaking TV, 4K TV
Yeah.
or 8K TV with a 1080p resolution on its dimming zones. So it's effectively a
Oh,
1080p LCD LED panel that is your dimming
right.
your backlight, and then it's got the LCD in front of that. Like it's
Wild.
insane. But yeah, like just an HDMI cable, the amount of data that can push through is nuts. Like when you're doing high
Yeah, that's
bitrate video and stuff like that, it's very interesting. Like the amount of data
yeah,
that
we
moves around these days. Because I mean, isn't there a famous quote from I want to say it's from Bill Gates? It was like, "No, you'll never need more than like 64 kilobytes of memory." Yeah, sure,
absolutely.
friend.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, even the phones these days, it's like 120 gigs on there. So, in
Yeah.
what world do you need that? But then you go look and you got 6,000 photos,
Yeah.
and they're all a
No,
couple megabytes each.
liquid cooled phones, right? First production model just came out. Like it's
Jeez.
yeah, we live in the future, folks.
Yeah, we are
Anyways.
100% do.
I mean, no one's listening anymore. There's two hardcore nerds that are in basements that are listening. We lost everybody in that last
Well, yeah,
10-minute sprint, but
yeah, but it is interesting to actually discuss the technologies.
yeah.
But,
And then we have machines running on
well,
2 megabytes of
yeah.
memory.
Well, I mean, I gutted out the Fanuc controller on the good way, and the amount of like the space of the 5 kilowatt drive is now a 5 kilowatt drive. Like
Yeah.
it's insane. The servo amplifier was that big; it's now two little boxes this big, and it's
Yeah.
more amperage. Like it is insane how far that's come. Granted, that was a 31-year-old machine, which makes me feel old as hell. Like
Yeah, it's
it's
up
come a
there.
long way. Even if you just look back over the last 20 years or 10 years, how far stuff has come.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, no doubt, right?
it's come a long way in a very short span of time. Even we were discussing. Was I discussing this? Oh, I was on the Discord chat on Friday. Someone was asking about an electronic lead screw, and I'm like, yeah, put a servo. You can buy a 750-watt servo for less money than a 12 Newton meter stepper with power supply. It's
Yeah.
literally cheaper
Yeah.
to just buy an AC servo now. Like that's been the last year or so. It's been like that. It's nuts. And then you don't need a power supply. It takes straight single phase in. Like
Mhm.
it makes no sense to go steppers anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
so, I
Yeah.
was at yesterday. So yesterday we were playing on Bertha again. I regret not putting that 3.7 kilowatt VFD on there a long time ago. It's a
Oh, yeah, I
beast.
think I saw
We're
that.
running
Yeah.
constant
Yeah.
surface speed and like all the things. But he's got a milling machine. I'm like, dude, just go buy a stepper motor or a servo, whatever, and I'll give you a little thing I've got that will you can basically set the feed rate because he's got an old manual horizontal mill. But he stands there and cranks the thing for an hour. I'm like, dude, let's automate it. Put a wiper motor that you can just set the
Mhm.
feed and have it stop. So you can go do something else, just keep an ear on it and an eye. And like, if it sounds wrong, go look. But you can leave it to run. Like, you can automate that process a bit because
Mhm.
he's the only person I've ever seen who's actually used the support arm on his horizontal. And he made himself a line boring thing to cut
Oh.
semicircles and blocks of steel. But
Oh, okay, yeah, so
it
you're
takes, he
cranking for
makes bending
years.
dies.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fly cutter effectively, and it takes forever. So
Yeah.
yeah, we were discussing. I know he listens. Hello, Kamish. We're discussing automating that yesterday, and then yeah, we ran Bertha. We ran some little dimple die thingy, or some little 8 millimeter pipe or tube, not tube, round bar benders. Then I showed him the workflow to make his tool parts effectively parametric. So you just go into your model, change the diameter, and it just, you go through regenerate and it generates your tool parts by how we constrained everything. So we got that sorted, made a bunch of those, and then we ran a 160 diameter chunk of EN19.
I think I saw that one, yeah.
Dude, it ran. Like, we were pushing it. We stalled the spindle twice. So it was doing a roughing cycle with a grooving tool. We were using a button nose, like a round nose grooving tool, so that you had less pressure when you engaged. It didn't chatter, like as you went deeper.
Mhm.
And then at the end, it was doing some funny shit and it stalled the spindle. So I was like, okay, cool, just go delete everything before there, check the leads are correct, and hit go. And we ran the last little bit. But it ran it beautifully, like about half a millimeter clearance between the part and the table of the machine. Because
Ooh, that's getting tight.
the tool sits 38.5 millimeters. Like, I faced the part a little bit, came off, and then
Yeah.
just turned the spindle off and just jogged to see where it was going to touch. And it was going to touch at like 38 and a half, 39 mils. The whole job needed to be 39 millimeters. So when we faced half a mil off the front, we made more clearance. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, tons of room then,
yeah,
yeah.
it ran beautifully. Like, and with that big VFD, it can do 300 RPM and still take a cut. Like,
Right,
we
yeah,
were
yeah.
300 RPM, we're still taking a mil and a half each side. Like, we
Nice.
weren't exactly cocking on. We had to slow the feed a bit, but it ran pretty well. And I mean, that took us, I think, 45 minutes or so to do that part. It was going to take him like 3 or 4 hours on this manual because his manual's not super rigid. So you would have been
Oh, okay,
grooving it
fair,
on the
yeah.
manual, and it would have just been an unpleasant experience.
Yeah, not to mention your one turn wrong
Yeah,
of being like, "Oh, no." Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So he is very happy with Bertha, and Bertha does the things. But yeah, it was a little scary when I was doing the finish pass, and I was like, okay, cool, it's clearing. But yeah, he's not paying for fusion, so he's got the everything's an M1 move. Oh, sorry, G1 move.
Oh,
So I was
yeah,
going
yeah.
through and just adding G0s because I was impatient as hell.
Fair, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's learning to do that as well. But he's like, no, he's after yesterday, he's like, no, he will try and run a part without me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you get stuck, you phone me. As long as you've tried, it's fine. Like, go try. If you get stuck with the tool parts, phone me. I'll tell you what to push, and then you can carry on. Like,
Yeah.
because it's just a case of repetition and getting comfortable running the machine. And this time we didn't explode the chuck, so he was happy.
Well, that's when you make those, like, brain connections of when you're forced to, like, stop, think, and be
Yes.
like, how do I and that feeling is like the clink, and
Yeah.
then you
No,
remember it.
even I
Yeah.
stood there and watched him set the job up. I'm like, okay, cool, set up. Okay, this is why we're doing it in this order. You're touching off the tool, you're setting the job origin. You put the second tool in, now you're setting the tool origin in relation to the previous tool, because that's all a tool offset is. It's in relation to the previous tool. So it's
Totally.
establishing that relationship. So explaining all that to them, then I'm like, okay, now you want to take extra half mil off the front, you jog it to minus half mil and set it at 0. And the whole job is now shifted because you've shifted the job, not the tool. And explaining all that
Yeah.
to him, like, yeah. Actually, speaking of that, how do you do wear comp and that kind of stuff and dialing in sizes on Linux CNC? Are you just like, so say you've told it to go to 10 millimeters and you
Yeah.
mark it and it's 10.1. How do you adjust it to 10?
I usually end up dropping my tools before I don't run a ton of wear. Like, I don't run
Yeah,
wear comp
I
on the
don't run
lathe.
wear at all either.
I basically just dial in the tool till it hits. Like, I'll
Okay.
change the tool offset until I hit
Yeah, so you would
exactly
then
where I
just say,
want.
okay, say it's 10 millimeter, it's meant to be 10 and it's 10.1. You would jog the tool to 10 and say, hey, tool, you're now at 10.1 in your offset. You'd reset your tool offset.
Uh, uh, yeah. I'll
Yep,
reset my
that
tool
makes
offset. So yeah, whatever the code says, the part comes out exact. Yeah,
Yes. Okay. No, that's why I do it because I've just got to teach Carl how to do it the correct way. So, like in my case, the code says it's cut 10 millimeters. I mark it it's 10.1, so I will then call that tool up, jog to 10 millimeters, and then set the tool offset at 10.1. So
yeah,
set it
yeah.
what it
That's what I
actually
do.
is, and
Yeah.
then it'll cut the correct size. Okay. Now I'll just make sure I'm doing it the same way because I know there is wear and there's a whole bunch of other crap in there that I just don't use.
Yeah, so I use wear. I mean, from last week's question, actually, I do use wear on the mill,
Yes, so do
obviously,
I.
for like pocket fits because
Yeah,
I want to dial it by tenths, and that's when I do use wear. But I'll do all my machining, and then for one specific finishing pass, I'll call in tool wear or tool comp,
exactly. That's what I do
which
as
will
well. And then
then
it shows a little icon to say that it's doing comp. It's really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just use
Also,
diameter. Like I use the actual tool diameter. I don't use
yes.
wear or
Yeah,
inverse
so do
wear. I
I.
just use
Yeah, I
yeah.
use tool
Makes
diameter. I
sense in my
modify the
brain.
tool diameter. So speaking of that, I made some blank pallets. Run the first one, I'm like, oh, it's undersized. Okay, cool. Comp the tool, make the tool bigger. Still undersized. The fuck? Make the tool bigger. Still undersized. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, went the
Yeah,
wrong way. Took
I did
me
that.
way
Yeah.
longer than I want to admit to figure that shit out. But yeah, eventually
Yep.
got the thing cutting. Like I changed the tools. I thought, okay, maybe my tool's fucked. No, I'm just an idiot. Because
Dude,
we're
I've done
talking
the
like
same
20
thing. Yeah.
microns that it was the wrong size. Like not even a thou.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually, oh wait, fucking idiot, adjust it the other way, and then it cut perfectly, and I made like 11 blank pallets.
If I talk to somebody and they tell me they haven't done that, you're a liar. I don't believe you.
Dude, I had it for the wire cutter. I had it written down on the wall. It's
Yeah.
comp bigger, big. Yeah, if it's in a hole or if it's outside, comp this way, comp that way, because I kept getting confused.
Yep.
Because there you're adjusting the gap between the wire and the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spark gap. Yeah, I mean, it happens to everybody. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think so. Anyways.
this week, okay, I'm kind of curious about your lathe, but we'll come back to that. We're going to talk about my lathe first. The VFD arrived.
Oh, cool. Yay. Good.
Yes. The VFD arrived, and I took the first cuts using the original tool holding that came with the machine. So I put
Okay.
a button tool in like a savage because that was the easiest thing to mount. Then I put in a CCMT. Yeah, CCMT insert. Had to run it backwards just because the how it was all set up. Yeah, the good way, no one told it was taking a cut when it was doing a 3 millimeter per side at 0.3 feet per rev in steel. It didn't notice. Yes. And then the best thing ever happened.
Nice.
I had the chip conveyor running, and then I heard raining chips out the back. I'm like,
Oh, cute.
it's
Yeah,
the
that's
best.
nice.
Yeah, I took its first cuts this week, and then I needed a braking resistor. I needed
Oh,
a
I
90
saw
ohm.
that.
Yes, I needed a 90 ohm 800 watt resistor. Cannot find one. So I ended up going to the China shop, and because I know I've seen stove elements at the China shops. Because obviously I could buy a resistor, but it was like $70 odd, and I was being cheap. So I went to the China shop and I spent $10 and bought 2 stove elements that, when in series, make 84 ohms, which is close enough. And then I made that ugly cage so that I don't electrocute myself. And yeah, channeling my inner horse by using stove elements as a braking resistor.
I didn't. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh. And as soon as you did, I'm like, why didn't I never think? Like, of course, that's just a resistive load. You can 100% use them, and they're dirt cheap. Like,
Yeah,
especially for
super
these
cheap. That
oddball.
horse literally do that. Like, I might design a nice housing for it and have my mate plasma cut it for me, but it's done. It's probably never going to be touched again.
Well, and for the amount of watt, like, yeah, you're gonna push a decent amount of watts for a few seconds. Like,
Exactly.
it's
The braking resistors on Bertha used to get hot when I was running production, and so did the ones on the MCO when I used to run a VFD. I've got some 50 ohms, so I have 4 50 ohm 200 watts, but it's obviously not enough wattage at that because then I'd have to parallel them. So yeah, I was calculating what parallel loads. I went down the rabbit hole of going, okay, 10 watt resistors in series and parallel make a fucking spiral of bloody resistors because trying to come up with a way to do this at a reasonable cost. But by the time you buy 100 resistors, you're at the price of buying 2 elements.
Well, like, what's an element? Like 1,000 watt capable,
1,000,
40 ohm
watts.
To buy 1,000 watt capable resistor, it's gonna be chunky.
I think the small element was 50 ohms and the big one was like 30 something ohms.
Right. Yeah.
They're 2 different sizes to be difficult. I might still go look around, take my multimeters to the other Chinese shops and just go see if I can find 2 that are the same size. that give me like 45 ohms, and then make a nice box for it. But I don't know. It's one of those things. Nothing more permanent than a temporary solution.
Yep. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
exactly.
I can now cook things on the good way.
I say I want to do that what you did and pipe out like some of the big chunky wires to my desk with some elements that I can sit my coffee on. So like as long as I'm running the lathe hard enough, my coffee stays warm.
There we
It's
go.
just like impetus to work. Yeah.
Yeah, no flip. Yeah, and then the I don't know if it was the good way, the disgusting coolants in the good way. I think it was a little bit before that. But anyway, I got hand aids. My freaking fingers here, the coolant is reacting with my hands. And I'm getting like,
Oh.
I don't know, like fucking hand aids. So I'm now having to wear
Ooh.
bitch mittens when I'm running the mill because the coolant literally burns my fingers.
Ooh. That's not
Even
good.
fresh coolant. Fresh coolant's actually even a bit worse. Like literally, I don't know. I think I was picking up parts out of Bertha's chip bin and I
Yeah.
got a couple cuts on my fingers, and I think it started from that. Like it started getting nasty, but yeah, my whole like inside of my finger here, here, and here is all just unpleasant.
Ooh.
Yeah, having to put hand cream and bitch mittens now. So I'm
Ooh.
running with those
I hope.
orange gloves, those nice thick orange gloves when I'm in the workshop now, which means I
You're
can't
gonna.
unlock my stupid ass phone, which is beyond infuriating because if you press sideways, it goes to some background bullshit where it tries to sell you backgrounds, and I can't disable that. It's yeah, a little bit, just a little bit annoying. Like make the UI worse. Let's take the Microsoft approach and fuck shit up. Now, even Instagram changed their UI this week. It's horrible. It's like, sorry, why is messaging in the middle at the bottom? Is this a messaging app? I thought it was a picture sharing app. Like,
No, it's for sharing AI video slop. Yeah, anyway.
exactly. It's it's for sharing racist AR video slop. I don't know if you saw the one of the US Senate or fucking I don't know politician people's like on Instagram, 1 in 3 of my things is a racist video. I'm like, rookie numbers. Rookie numbers. No, dude, like the amount of shit that comes across on Instagram is just, yeah. That doom scrolling is a problem. But also, like the Instagram community, I think, is dying a bit because people are realizing they're just doom scrolling. So they're uninstalling the
Yeah.
app.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah.
And yeah,
Exactly.
it's a bit of an issue, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Hey.
So, what happened to your lathe?
Yeah, man. Nothing really happened in my lathe, but I've always had like when I do OD turning, the finish is always really good out at the tailstock end, and as I get closer to the headstock, it's just not as nice. It's still really good, but I like if I could get the finish that I get at the tailstock end at the headstock end, I would be very happy because it's like it's almost perfect. Like it's almost where I could just take it off and be like and sell it. Like I'm very happy with it for what that lathe cost me. Anyways, I started thinking about it, and I think it's because I'm using obviously auto feed, and I
Yes.
think if there's any undulation in the auto feed screw, it's
Sure.
going to translate into the carriage. As I'm farther away from that fixed point of that screw, the screw can obviously wiggle more. So the further away from the headstock I am,
Yes.
where there's less support, it's going to influence the carriage less. So I should get a better cut. And as I get closer to the headstock, where that screw has more force to basically vibrate the carriage, and it's a uniform pattern that I see.
Okay, so is it not the other way around? Is it not that the
I
screw is
don't
whipping on the back end? Because when you further, your carriage is closer to the middle of the screw. So when you get
right.
close
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the tailstock, to the headstock, there's more floppy doodle on the other end.
I mean, it's a beefy screw. It's
Okay,
and it's
the other thing it could be is your screw is not straight.
very unlikely. Yeah, very likely. Yeah,
So
yeah,
as you're getting
yeah,
closer, it's getting tighter and tighter, and when you're out here,
yeah.
the screw's got more space to flex.
Very likely. And I ended up I forgot how I came across this. I came across this in a Reddit search, and someone referenced a Cloud 42 video,
Mm,
and he has almost the identical problem, also on a bench top. I mean, mine's a little bit bigger
yeah,
than a bench top. It's same dealio. And I looked at it, and he basically found out that his cross slide was it just wasn't machined well. It was machined well, and they're bigger and heavier enough that
yeah.
that wasn't influencing. But as he got closer to the headstock, he noticed a lot more movement. So I was like, I'm gonna. He basically you could just feel or gauge it and make sure that your dovetails are where they should be. But I
Okay,
think that might actually be part of the problem, and it's minute. Like incredibly small. Like we're probably talking less than a thou, but you can see it in a nice finish.
Yeah, I
Only
have a
like I can only see it on a finishing pass,
I have a
like a
bad
low.
solution
If
for
it's
you.
what's your bad solution,
Take the lead screw out and put a ball screw in. Feed
dude?
it from the
Don't
back end and let the front end float.
don't
And electronic lead
don't
screw. Come, Kurt, let's do it.
don't push me. Like I've already thought about that. I'm like, if I have to fix it, like if that's the fix for it, that's exactly where I'm going with it. Is 100%.
Dude,
The only
because the
problem
thing
with
is,
yeah,
so what you could do there is you could put one of these. Yeah, I don't feel like describing it. I have pictures today. One of these dinguses that your motor and your ball screw couple to, sticking out
right,
not the headstock side, the tailstock side of your machine, and have your
yeah,
ball screw just stick out and float. That way, obviously you want to have it aligned, but then it's can pick up any of the slop that there is, and
yeah.
put the motor sticking out the tailstock side of your machine.
It's
And
not a
then
bad
electronic
idea,
lead screw.
and
Come to the dark side, Kurt. I know we're going.
don't push me. I've already thought about it. I've already thought I can sink the servo right into the casting, so it wouldn't even stick out. I could timing belt it right to the screw. Yeah, it would not be difficult. Yeah.
Yes, come to the dark
And
side.
then, of course, I'm going to put a ball screw on the other axis because if I'm
Then
doing
it
one, I
can
may as
kick
well do the
itself
other
out.
one.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I have a CNC lathe again. Yeah, no, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to see if the carriage is wiggly first.
Yeah.
That's much less effort.
I would say it might be worthwhile just cracking your where the lead screw mounts on the
Yeah,
headstock
I thought
side.
of that. Yeah,
Just loosen the bolt there and just let it try
yeah.
find its center, and then you'll be good there. Also, Kurt, have a look at that quickly.
Don't send me on the podcast. Google.
Just to mess with you.
Nice. Yeah, so that's a full threading kit on AliExpress for
AliExpress.
like
It's in the links.
that's crazy. That's crazy how cheap some of this stuff is. Like,
Yep.
yeah, mind you, it's only a stepper and
A stepper and an encoder with a little bit of dedicated hardware, like.
but still, it's like $200 Canadian, shipped to my door.
Obviously, you
Another
want a bigger
$300,
stepper than
all
that,
done.
or you want
Yeah, I'll put a
servo.
servo on it, but still, it's just incredible what's available nowadays.
Yeah. But yeah, looking at your lathe in the background, I'd say just loosen that block on the end with your carriage
Yeah,
all the way forward and tighten it. Just see if that makes the problem go away. Because if that's sitting a little bit high or a little bit low, it'll influence the stiffness of your carriage. So it'll either be lifting your carriage
absolutely.
up or be pulling it down and making it a bit harder to feed.
I know
And
what I'm doing later. Yeah,
that's not hard to quickly see if that fixes it. Because I'm
it's
assuming the
literally
top
two.
one is the
Yeah.
screw and the bottom one is the keyed shaft for the feed drive.
Yeah.
Or what
Yeah.
is yours?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's
Hang
3,
on.
but yeah,
Yeah, you have three there. The bottom one is your on-off.
bottom's
Then
on
it's got a
off.
keyed shaft, which would drive a gear, which drives your feed. And then the top one is the lead screw, which drives your threading.
Yeah, that I never use, but yeah.
Yeah. But that could be
Yeah.
influencing. If any of those are off center height, that would influence it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, run it right to the headstock and loosen them all and tighten them all back
Just
up.
let it
That's a
try
smart idea.
find its center and see if that fixes it. Maybe it's an easy fix.
That might even be because that's way easier than taking the carriage part and trying to lap it to get it to fit. Yeah, that's true. That's true. This is why we have this conversation. Shit like this brings 100% value. Not that I don't mind, like I do, like it just sometimes. Yeah,
No, that's the thing. It lets you bounce ideas off other people and get told easier solutions sometimes. Like that's why I listen to our podcast, because also like chatting like this, sometimes it won't go into the melon, and then when I listen to it, it's like, oh shit, that's what he said, and then that's why I listen to our
So
own
many
podcast.
times I go on a walk and I listen to our narcissistic talk of me listening to me, and then I'm like, that's what Jamie. Sorry for hitting my desk, people. I know it's annoying on the microphone, and I'm like, that's what Jamie meant, and then it's just like, yeah, I didn't get that when you told it to me, but when I re-listened to it, I'm like, oh, I was completely Anyways.
Yeah, but I mean that is partially the point of the podcast, is to bounce ideas and a weekly check-in and whatnot, because we both spend a lot of time by ourselves in our workshops.
Totally.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So everybody listening to our podcast, listen to it twice to give us more views, and it'll benefit your life. I guarantee it. It's 100% guarantee it'll be better.
Anyway. So, what have you been Googling this week, Kurt?
Oh, the Google box.
The Google box.
So I googled the Konami code because I I I was pretty sure I remembered. It's been a long time since I punched it in. Because there was a little like a video game controller in like the little baby aisle at toy store, and it
Ah,
was like modeled after the Nintendo controller. And I'm like, and I know some of them they do put in the like if you enter the Konami code, it'll make a funny sound. So I entered it a bunch, and I didn't hear it do anything different. So I was like, okay, well maybe it's not that cool. Um, anyway, and then a bunch of AI stuff, and then I was using Whisper to do some audio transcoding, which apparently that's the same program Zencaster uses. And someone
oh,
sent me
okay.
hip to Parakeet by NVIDIA, which is just like miles faster. So pissed around with that.
Uh,
And
yeah, sorry.
then
Speaking of that, if you want the transcripts, just ask Danica and she'll send them to you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't realize that Zencaster had it. I didn't want to bug you either. And then
No,
I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna work for my purposes anyway.
yeah.
So it's probably moot. And then a stupid dangerous thing I should never ever Google is best VR headsets because now that I have a PC that can run basically anything, I was like, well, now I want to buy like a VR.
Dude,
So
I played on a
bad idea.
Quest 2. My mate had a Quest 2,
Oh,
and I wanted one after that. Just to play Beat Saber.
dude. Yeah, sure. Beat Saber. That's
Beat
exactly why
Saber,
you want
dude, Beat Saber
it.
with wrist weights. There's a workout. Fucking one time.
Yeah,
Have
no
fun while
doubt.
I
Beat
did
Saber
that.
is a
That was what I
sick
wanted
game.
it for,
Yeah.
but yeah. I don't want to walk into shit. Like, oh, dude, I was shocked how good it was. Like, didn't get motion sick at
Yeah.
all. It did mapping pretty freaking well. We were on a balcony in the middle of the mountains in a cabin, and it was tracking like everything well in the dark. Like, I was amazed by it, and that wasn't tethered
It's
to a PC. That
yeah.
was all on board.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
It's incredible what they
Um,
can do. Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, really, really crazy. But yeah,
What's in
I've been googling speed test because we've had some network issues, which I'm now figuring out on our home network. Been looking up Ohm's law to calculate parallel and series resistance. Looking at DARs and sealers and stuff on Caswell because there's a localish guy who wants to build an anno setup and wants me to sell him some of my stuff because he doesn't want to import from the US. And then looking at Roto tanks, not Anks, which is a brand that makes water storage tanks because I want to put a 180 liter water storage tank in the garage for RO water, and then a
mm.
240 liter outside for dumping the wastewater from the RO. Instead of down the drain, I can dump it into a tank, and the crazy lady can use it to water the garden. So at least
Nice.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, the mother-in-law. And then also, like in worst case scenario, I've got 180 liters of water that I can drink if I need to because uh, the neighborhood, they've turned the water pressure up lately. So all the pipes are now fucking out. So they can pay their friends to fix it. And then it'll be good for another 2 or 3 years. And then they'll turn the pressure up again. Like you can literally watch it. If you drive neighborhood to neighborhood, you'll see that all the
Yeah.
roads are dug up now. And then in 3 or 4 months' time, the next neighborhood, all the roads are dug up. They turn the water pressure up to break all the pipes so their friends can fix them. Like you'll see in a neighborhood, you'll just see all the joints start breaking and they'll dig up the roads and fix them, and then the next neighborhood, and then the next neighborhood, and they just roll through on like a 3 yearly cycle through all the neighborhoods, so that their friends can make a buck.
Hmm.
Africa, it's the best. Like,
That's
yeah. So, where can
oh
people
boy.
find you and your stuff, Curt?
Confoundedmachine.com. And yeah, all the wares are there, all the data's, all the media stuff is there. And there's a link to the podcast and the merch store where you can buy that kind of stuff too.
Nice.
What you
Yeah.
what you doing? Oh.
No, sorry, I can beep. My electricity meter's beeping at me because there's
Oh,
less than 10 units left because we're on page go. Yeah.
ooh,
Um,
TikTok.
Yeah, nah, I got a few hours until it's going to run out. Yeah, you can find us at jspeceng.com for the website where you can find the anchor point, the flak, and the merch store. The lonemachinists.com is the podcast's website where you can find some bonus content, the companion guide, and a link to the merch store where there's a bunch of shirts and things. And you can find me at jspec_engineering on Instagram where I generally post the day-to-day shenanigans that are happening in my workshop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
What are you up to tomorrow, Curt? It's a Sunday, so I assume you're gonna just have a nap.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna just chill out, not do a ton. Take the little people out, hang out with them, then back to the grind on Monday. And we're recording early, so then Monday
Yes.
is a regular day for me, which is
Yes, because my
that'll be
wife is
different.
inconvenient.
No,
She's
no
making me go
issues
join
in
a
the slightest.
mountaineering club on Monday night. That's why we recording it.
Ooh,
Yay.
Kilimanjaro.
We get a discount if we register as a married couple, so we're registering as a married
Oh,
couple. Yeah, fun times.
what are you up to? What are you up to today
Today I am going to
on the
go
Lord's
and
Day?
yeah, sure. I'm going to go fit the way cover to the good way, and
Okay.
I think Cole's coming past to machine some stuff. There's something else I needed to do. Oh, I need to sort out a quote for some anchor points, and yeah, I'm going to faff around and just I might start running those brass pieces. I need to do the quote for that, but I don't know what the material costs. But I know that the previous quote was correct, including material, but I think I have material on hand. So I'm going to go scrounge on and see what material I have. And if I need to buy material to make 2,000 little plates, that's going to be like a whole day and a half's worth of production. It's going to be great. Yeah, I want to get those quotes done because then those guys pay and I can get cracking on that job. I can squeeze it in now before my aluminium arrives on Wednesday, because I think I'm only going to get it by Wednesday. So I want to try and knock all their stuff out quickly early in the week. And then I need to figure out, I might just try and make a sample Dutchman squeeze box button so that I can figure out the drilling. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how the day unfolds. Kind of in a bit of a chilled mood today. Don't really feel like working, but we'll go work anyway. Like fucking who gets days off? Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I quit my 9 to 5 to get a 24/7.
Yep, exactly.
Now, you've got a pretty good work-life balance. I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, it's forced, but it's.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining. It's nice.
That's my goal for next year. Is Danica's working from February, so she'll be out all day. When she gets home, I'm going to need to stop working and spend time with her. So I'm going to try and get my work-life balance a little bit better next year, because she's working 5 days a week in Midrand, which is like an hour and a half's drive in the morning. And then, yeah, when she gets back, she's going to want to spend time with me, and I would like to actually get some semblance of a work-life balance.
Yeah, it's good. Although, one day you'll wake up and you'll be old and you'll die.
Exactly. Although having a job in each hand is balanced.
That is balanced. Yeah.
It's balanced. Yeah, because next year is going to be a bit silly because Danica's got a full-time job and then also doing stuff on the side and editing our podcast and whatnot. So we may actually need to release a day later than we're currently releasing. So record on our normal time, but release a day later so that she has time to get it all edited in the evening. I know. Horrid. Yeah. It means we don't have to listen to it on a Wednesday. That's just weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No sweat.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. And patrons, we'll see you in the after show where we don't know what we're talking about. It'll be great.
But it'll be cool.
I'm sure it'll be cool. It's always cool. It's Curt and I. It's always cool.
Absolutely. That's what, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Take care.